Hello, my name is V-Sin, and this is a snapshot of Senran Kagura Shinovi Versus. Now this game came out on October the 14th, 2014 for the PlayStation Vita in North America. There you go, I've put in a little bit under 8 hours there, that's my completion so far. So I'm just mostly, if you've played the game or are aware of the story, I'm mostly focusing on Hebijo because that's what I ended up picking first. So what is this game? This game is... to me, it's primarily an action brawler. Okay, and mind you, as soon as I mentioned Senran Kagura, and it's not obvious from the first few frames of this video, but, well, boobs. Lots and lots of boobs. And some ass, but mostly boobs. Like, literally, all but 2 members of the cast have enormous tits, and one of those 2 has the option to have enormous tits. So, yeah. Anyways, let's get to the base game first. So this around here is mostly meaningless. I'm not kidding about that. Yes, you have all these various different options. I'll show you what they are in a second. But otherwise, you just kind of talk to people like, oh, blah, blah, blah. And they just say things. And some of them have different things that they can say. Yeah, that's about it. All these other options, you press R. And this... like, honestly, this is the easier way to show it. This is, you have menus. Dojo is online, online play, and there's a bunch of different options there. Dressing room, library shows stuff like images, videos, audio. Store is where you buy, honestly, nothing but outfits. Change schools is for the different stories. Records is records. Character is change the character that you're playing as. And settings. First thing I always do. Okay, so, separate audio sliders. There's also rear touchpad camera controls. I hate them, so I leave them unused, but they can be used in order to spin the camera around if you so desire in combat. Now, I'm bringing you here, though, because of something that's missing. Now, you may have noticed all the subtitles that keep showing up. Those are hard-coded. The subtitles will always show up, and this is a Japanese voice English subtitle game. I wasn't 100% expecting an English dub, because let's face it, this got announced out of the blue. But the hard-coded English subtitles at times can be a little bit annoying, and there is no way to disable them. Kind of disappointing. Now, let's see here. Let's start off with the missions first, before anything else. I'll just talk about missions, the gameplay. There are 2 versions. There's basically story mode, that's Shinobi Girls Code, Hebijo Battle Records, or whatever the heck your other school is. Shinobi Girls Heart is a set of missions, quickly here. 5 different missions depending on the character. These are actually played consecutively, like just one after the other. They'll just fire off all 5 missions. I'm not sure if there's some sort of unlock condition before being able to do all 5 in a row, because I just cleared the story first, but... it's a little bit of a goofy thing about, oh, this character and their primary personality trait, and it interacts with 5 other characters, and then you get an image, and that's about it. Now, there's one other thing here before I get into battle. Let's pick chapter... well, let's do the first mission. Yeah, you have all these different missions. Normally, when you start the story mode for the first time, you are forced to pick one character. You can see from my crappy rankings which character I picked. You also have the option to change difficulty. Okay, you press right on the pad to adjust the difficulty. Now, here's the thing. Only the story missions have this difficulty option. I don't know why, but the character missions don't have a difficulty option. I'm not sure why that's the case. Let's just get into a story mission first. Let's try Power of Calamity. Miyabi. Nah, I'm gonna use Ryobi. I'm just more comfortable with playing Ryobi. Or is Ryobi? Whatever. I didn't do well in Japanese class. Here we go in the missions. There's also a little thing where you can hold down select and it'll remove all the face coverings of all the characters, but other than that. So there's story going on. And so forth and so on. You can also skip cutscenes by pressing start. I'm just mostly going to skip them because, well, partly because of the spoilers, because it is one continuous story. and partly because it's whatever. Also, there are certain sections where there's text and voice acting. You saw the voice acting, saw the voice acting, heard the voice acting. But other than that, yeah, it's there. You also notice that everyone has massive tits. Blah blah blah. Let's get into an actual fight. Just keep skipping through all these cutscenes. Because honestly, like, it's Japanese voiced, and the voice actresses are all pretty good as far as I can tell. They do a good job of enunciating their lines. I don't really know enough Japanese to say what the lines actually are, but, it sounds pretty good. It sounds high quality, that sort of thing. The English text, as far as I can tell, is a pretty good translation. A little bit is interpretive, a little bit is direct translated, and all sorts of other stuff. So I'm just going to beat the crap out of the CPU in hard mode. Now, on normal mode, the CPU is brain dead. On hard mode, the CPU can be very difficult. But whatever. Either way, the combat system is very similar to something like, say, Dynasty Warriors or anything else. You press square, you press triangle, and then you do a bunch of other things. When you deal a certain amount of damage to your opponent, they will strip like that. And then, they get a little cutscene. I believe they also have their stats slightly reduced. There's also a lock-on system pressing up on the pad, and you will lock onto a target. It's a bit of a temperamental asshole, though, because, I'm trying... Sometimes if I try to lock onto the main enemy, it won't lock nicely. There we go. Also, if you block, there's a block option in this game, but if you block properly, then you will get a parry. And then triangle is a special move. In this case, it's a rifle that can fire up to 5 times. You can also hold down the triangle button in order to charge up your special, and that'll have a different effect of some description. Now, there was Shinobi Transform. When you do that, you press L, and then you will do a Shinobi Transform. Should I really do it with Yona? Fuck it. If you hold down the block button, then press triangle, you'll get this cutscene. You can pinch with the screen, or you can press triangle, and they will strip. Yeah, flat chest, whatever. This thing, both Shinobi Transform and Frantic will give you access to your specials, and I'm just going to blindly use a special for no good reason. They all have different animations and stuff like that. Oh, crap. Well, I'm an idiot. And then I'm just mostly doing this for demonstration purposes. And I can just... right. Also, because of the damage output of this mode, it's kind of broken and overpowered, but whatever. Anyway, that's basic. There's also an ending cutscene and stuff like that. And then after this, is it the score screen first, or is it the... shoot, I didn't bother remembering. Wait for this to finish loading. Yep, it's cutscenes first. Then the score screen. I got a crappy score because I was demonstrating, but essentially your score is determined by the number of enemies you beat up, the highest combo you deal. The hits taken is the amount of damage you take, and then the amount of time it takes to finish the mission. And those are the 4 things that determine your score. You also gain XP and Zenny, which are, again, modified depending on score. What I will say about XP, though, is that it gets increased. Like, you can get stupid amounts of XP from everything. Seriously. XP, as you can see there, it will improve your stats, in this case, HP, attack, defense. You can also see there Mastery, Flash, Yang, Yin. Flash, yellow. That means that when you are in your normal mode without picking a different mode, that is Flash. Yang is Shinobi Transform. That mode, again, improves defense and attack and refills your health bar and makes you put on different clothes. Yin is the Frantic mode, strip. Massive attack increase, massive defense decrease, and all 3 modes have different movesets. And I'll just quickly save that. And really, that's a lot of the gameplay. I guess I'll show you one more mission with something a little bit more involved than just kind of beating on a target. There is the final boss mission, which I actually have difficulty beating. Granted, like, I keep getting those sisters. Boobie, she's kind of crappy at 1v1, but whatever. Let's quickly change to blah 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 Miyabi for a second. And the character selection is dependent on which part of the story you're in. So this is Hebijo, so I can only pick those 5 characters. If I pick a different story mode, then I can pick different characters. Next thing, dressing room. A dressing room is basically, well, it says on the tin, dressing room. Uniform, again, this is the flash mode, or whatever the heck you're doing when you're running around. It has its own different set of different stuff that you can equip, put on stuff. There's also a bunch of generic ones that you can put on. And you can also do it from the other schools if you unlock them. Or whatever. Let's put that back. Shinobi, again, this is similar. The individual characters have them. You have a bunch of generics that you can pick from, and stuff like that. Again, this is just the outfit when doing that. Where the heck is her? Blah, blah, blah. Where the heck am I going? There we go. Just resetting everything. You also get to pick their underwear. Of note, though, are these lingerie 24, 25, 32. Those come from the random lingerie selection. You can just throw money at a random number generator, and then they'll generate one of these randomly, and then you just do it enough, and eventually you'll pick the right one, sort of thing. You also can pick different hairstyles that can be unlocked as the game goes on. Too many of these. And then finally, accessories. Accessories is the interesting part of this, apart from looking at virtual girls' tits. Okay, so let's just take flower headdress red. Okay, so there's a flower headdress, but what you can immediately tell is that, oh crap, it's clipping through her hair. Adjust, triangle. This is where things get crazy, okay? Because first of all, you can actually modify what part of the body it shows up on. What the heck? What the heck? Okay, so right leg it doesn't show up anywhere. Left leg it shows up in thin air. Right arm, whatever. Let's put it back on her head. Now, position. In this case, what we're going to try to do is we're going to try to turn this into a flower hat. So, let's see. If I do this, let's see. So this pushes it in and out. So let's see here. We'll push it backwards. Minus, and push it back. 6 units. That should do it. Oops. And I'm an idiot, so I accidentally pressed the wrong button. So push it back 6 units. Okay. Now, let's see here. We want it to go above her head, so right about there should be good. +5. And then we want to shift it more to the center. So we want to put this to minus, and then it's a bit far. There we go, right roughly in the middle of her head. Now we can rotate this. That's not the rotate I want. Okay, 300, and then 310. 314, okay. And then now we're just going to blow this thing up massively. And if I've done this right, we should have a flower hat. Or if I've done this wrong, we don't have a flower hat. Close enough. And then of course you can confirm, and there you go. That is the accessory customization system, and it's kind of very in-depth actually. And you can also do this for stuff like yay. You can also put various different things and back and all sorts of other crazy stuff. So yeah, that's a customization system in a nutshell. I can't really go online because I don't have an online connection here, and it would take too long to find matchmaking. But before we get into that, I'm going to get into another fight. go Shinobi Girl's Heart. Again, you can't select difficulty here for some strange reason. Blah da 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 da. Let's go Comic Book Hero. And you're gonna see me running around in circles for a bit. Again, there are harder missions, but this is one where it has a whole bunch of little mooks that you can beat the snot out of. So, let's get into one more mission here. I'm gonna have a couple of gripes that I want to get through. It'll also give you all these tips in the loading screen. Oh, I really should have shown. Whatever, I'll deal with that next. Anyways. So in these story modes, you can see those little cutscenes that show up, right? Right. This is the individual story modes. This only shows up in the individual stories for some reason. In the main story, I've never seen any of those show up. Oh, and these buggers. You can get down here, you know? I can't even get up there. Whatever. Just beat the snot out of them. Lastly, you get back here. There we go. What the heck? Oh. Just quickly do some combos. Overall, I actually like the the combat system. Like, I actually like the combat engine, and I like what they've done with it. I'm using slightly generic playstyles right now, but they've got some interesting combat styles that they've got going for it as well, so. And there we go. And then it'll pause like that when the big enemy of the fight, whatever, who the hell it is, shows up. Alright, now for the gripe. Now you can see how the little cutscene's going on. Now I'm going to start beating the snot out of her. Now watch. After this... Okay. Now the second line. Second line. Now watch again. That was interesting. Because the first time this happened, it actually ended up doing a weird glitch. Let's see. Okay, so that time it repeated. Okay, again, first line, second line, then this should loop, I believe. There we go. Now you can see again, it says, oh, this has the main character losing. And now the line loops for some reason. It's like, why would they... I don't know why they have spaghetti code like this, but either way. Either way. Also, if you complete the battle before the quotes even end, because you're over-leveled or something, then... Because the quotes still haven't ended yet. And yeah, now the battle's already done, and, well... Couldn't they have done a better job, or at the very least, like, had an option in the records where you can retrieve those quotes? So that's kind of supposed to be the story here. Like, I don't know why they did that. Either way, that's that, and, is there really anything else to cover? Oh, right, online. One last thing with online. And then I'll wrap this up. So in the fights there, you could see that okay, there are cutscenes when you deal enough damage, there are cutscenes when you do specials, although that was previously, I didn't do any specials there. When you go online, all those cutscenes disappear. And it's good and bad for some reason. Like, it's good because you don't waste forever waiting for a cutscene to end. On the other hand, visual clarity for stuff like, oh, I've taken this much damage, oh, I am doing this, oh, this has changed, and you can't really tell until you squint really hard. Oops. Right, it auto-changes. Anyways, like, online, the combat system actually does feel better, because against CPUs, CPUs just feel really dumb, because they're CPUs. Whereas you play against other people, it feels interesting. The playstyles really start to feel exaggerated instead of just bum rush everything, which is really annoying and dumb. But then there's the overall, overall it's just online, it feels better as a game. It has basically score attack, team deathmatch. Like, they call them other things, but they are honestly the same thing as deathmatch, team deathmatch, score attack. So, other than that, verdict. Well, this is a yeah, it's a game about a whole bunch of girls. Like, if you can't get over that, then that's that. Other than that, though, I do like the combat system. The story is okay. I guess it panders to the usual archetype this, archetype that. And overall, the main problem is that the combat kind of gets a little stale, because I showed you 2 combat missions, and that basically is the entire game. Maybe mix up, have more bosses, have more enemies, and there are some better enemy varieties, some that don't flinch, some that do more damage, some that twirl, and a bunch of different enemies, but it's just you beat your way through a swarm of madness, and then you beat a boss, and then you do that again, and again, and again, and then again, and then you do it with bigger numbers, and that's the gameplay. So really, realistically, you're buying this for multiplayer, which, well, it's on Vita. The multiplayer population isn't great. I did manage to get a few games, but the multiplayer population isn't great. You're buying it for the story mode, which is a single pass, and then you're questioning for your $40 purchase. Or you're buying it for the fan service, which, all things considered, why are you buying a video game just for the fan service? So TLDR, it's honestly a decent game on its own, but like, for $40, I guess it's a little bit much to ask. My name has been VSin. Thanks for watching.